hope that you have at least begun your research on a topic that we had talked about last week. If you missed last week, you can always catch up because there's always a playlist that is available for you. I'm hoping that you're not only watching the videos, which I do appreciate, but I'm hoping that you're doing your very own studies in between the weekly time that we do meet up for the Torah Chat Point. I'm so blessed that my eyes are being opened, and that now I cannot believe as a Christian I never did pay attention to the Torah, or I read the Old Testament, but I didn't catch its valuableness. I didn't catch the wonders of it. I didn't catch the importance of the Torah as a Christian. So I will continue to learn and continue to work on understanding the Torah and understanding how the whole word of truth works. Welcome to Reconcile the Kingdom. We're working towards becoming a harmony of the whole word of truth. My name is Patrice Robinson, and I appreciate you coming by on today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, and share this video as a way of you showing your support. We're going to go over the significant events of chapters 10 through 12. Chapter 10. Here is another interesting chapter. Here we have the only instrument that is used in the service Yehovah, and that is the trumpet, the shofar. This is used for providing the people direction. It's also used to call them to assemble, to bring an announcement of the new biblical month, the new moon, and going to war. We also have the cloud that shows up in this chapter again. We see the steps the children of Israel have taken by the leading of Judah and the priest who is taking care of the tabernacle. If you read this chapter, you will see how orderly and how well organized the children of Israel were because of the instructions of Yehovah. Now, before this chapter ends, did you recognize that Moses invited his brother-in-law to join the Israelites? Naturally, he left, but he was invited. Chapter 11. Here goes the complaining. And Yehovah was tired of the people complaining. He consumed some of the people by fire, and Moses was called up to pray for them so that the fire will stop. Well, do you recognize that they didn't call on the high priest? They actually called on Moses. They didn't end there. The people still were not learning their lessons about their murmuring and their complaining, because much of the complaining and the murmuring actually started way back in Egypt when Moses showed up to tell him what he came to do. Does this sound familiar? Doesn't it sound like us? Moses is so overwhelmed, and so he began to talk to Yehovah and complain about him being head over all these people. It was just too much for him, and he was feeling overwhelmed. So this is where we have the 70 elders that come in, and they're filled with the Holy Spirit. And of course, because they're complaining, Yehovah gave the people quail because they was missing fish from back in Egypt. I'm telling you, that is some mercy. Chapter 12. I'm beginning to see murmuring and complaining as contagious. This is the number one problem that was happening in the wilderness. And when you read all the way through, the people complained no matter what Yehovah did, no matter what Moses did. They will always complain, no matter what miracle, no matter what blessing, whatever he showered them with, blessed them with, they still found a way to complain. And we even have Miriam and Aaron complaining about Moses' wife because she was an Egyptian, but she also was a Hebrew. She is from the seed of Abraham. I went over this on a video called Who Are the Israelites? I will leave a link in the description box for those who are interested in that video. But that complaining did not end well for Miriam. Today's focus is on complaining and murmuring. There's nothing new under the sun. Some of us still murmurs and complain. We murmur and complain. There will always be a problem no matter what Yehovah does for many of us, no matter how we recognize things. Many of us cannot recognize the blessings, but we still murmur and complain. The people of Yehovah have been complaining and murmuring, like I said earlier, since Egypt when Moses came and told them what he had come to do. Many of us rather be in the house of bondage, the house of slavery, because we are familiar. We'll become familiar to this oppression. And then once the blessing comes, some of that become difficult for us. It becomes difficult to be thankful, to have that thankfulness and to live in that blessing because we're so used to that oppression. So it becomes difficult to recognize a blessing. Maybe you're one of those that needs to create a thankfulness tree, a thankfulness box, and write down each day something that you are thankful for. And from time to time, open up that box and read that. Or if you have it on a clip tree, unclip them and read them. I wonder how much selfishness and complaining and murmuring has in common. Paul had reminded us not to be like the stubborn, selfish, hard-hearted, rebellious people in the wilderness. And we're going to read this. This is in Philippians chapter 2, verses 14 through 17. Do all things without complaining or arguments, so that you will prove yourselves to be blameless and innocent, children of Yehovah, above reproach in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, among whom you appear as lights in the world, holding firmly the word of life, so that on the day of our Messiah, I can take pride because I did not run in vain, nor labor in vain. But even if I am being poured out as a drink offering upon the sacrifice and service of your faith, I'll rejoice and share my joy with you all. Do what you need to do to stop the complaining and murmuring, and tell God about your problems. Believe me, those are two different things. As always, man does not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yehovah. Now, don't forget to join me on Saturday, as usual, at 10 o'clock a.m. for the Sabbath teaching. And then I will see you next Tuesday for Torah Chat Points, chapters 13 through 15. Have a blessed rest of the week, and thank you for watching.